Oh, please. Tell me again how nobody understands what good handling is quite like you do.
Mazda, 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 one last Miata to go. Mazda, 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 then we've done them all for show.
You bought a second-generation Miata. I can't wait to hear all about weight distribution. You feel the road! No way! Really? Is that a Seiko 5 wristwatch? Are those string-back driving gloves? Now, when did you start wearing those? What's up with your new shoes? Why do they lace up the sides? I understand we're in slow traffic here, but must you weave back and forth in the lane? We finally made it all the way to the cidery. I'm thirsty and hungry, and I can't wait to... Oh, we gotta wait for Mike. He's taking pictures of his car. Yeah, that's what he does now. 1999 Mazda Miata MX-5 NB. Out of all the correct answers, the second generation is the most correct. The MX-5 generation chassis codes are like multiple choice Scantron answers. An A, B, C, and D. And choosing which Miata generation to get is like answering a Scantron question where each answer sounds correct. Okay, we've got choice NA. Alright, this answer you knew going right into class. It just feels right. Choice NB. Well, it looks and sounds just like A, but the wording is simpler and, I don't know, the teacher may just be screwing with me here. Choice NC. You heard everybody talk about this for 2 days and never mentioned it again. It wasn't even on the study guide, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. Choice ND. Elegantly worded, professional sounding. Some of these words are so new in this answer, I don't know what they mean, but the shape of the answer even looks correct. A rich person's answer. So what do? All right, look, I was a teacher. I was a real teacher. So when all the answers look correct, the simplest one is usually the right one. Choose B. The second-gen Miata is a simplified first-gen Miata. Mazda removed the stylish but mechanically fragile pop-up headlights, and the wheelbase, well, the whole car got wider. The rear window is now glass and has a defroster. The new 1.8-liter inline-4 made 140 horsepower and 116 pound-feet. The curb weight is 2,348 pounds. It's chonkier than the first generation, which was only 2,120 pounds, which is why car nerds will forever insist that the first album was the best. This 1999 model is a pre-facelift second gen. In 2001, the face and interior got rounder and glossier, like Windows XP before you go into settings and turn off all the bullshit. Miata culture and Corvette culture are the same. They're the same people. They drive different cars, but they're all, my Miata's best Miata because I have a short throw shifter. No, my Miata's best Miata because I have a steering wheel from the Mazda Speed Best Miata. My Miata's best Miata because I got the best dry time out of any Miata on the streets of Willow on the first Saturday of all Septembers of all the years that are palindromes. Well, my Miata's best Miata because I love mine more than anybody else. My Miata's best Miata because I named my Miata after the anime character.
No, my Miata is best Miata because I commissioned art of my OCs in my Miata, and their cocks tower over the windshield, swaying dangerously like poorly secured lampposts in a hurricane.
Mazda MX-5 Miata. In sports car bingo, this is the free space. 1999 marked the 10-year anniversary of the MX-5. And the NB seemed designed...
My arousal is a poison!
...as a send-off for the decade that saw the Miata firmly establish itself as the antithesis of American sports cars and their open-container music festival vibes. You still got four-wheel independent suspension and bigger front and rear anti-roll bars, but with new touches like optional ABS and 15-inch alloy wheels. The BP 4W engine made more power thanks to a higher 9.5-to-1 compression ratio. This model also got you the variable intake control system to improve power and throttle response at various RPMs. In 1999, these ran close to $20,000. But used market appraisals these days place NBs anywhere between $1,200 to $6,000, or give or take $100 here and there. You wouldn't think it would make a great daily, but it does. Parts are everywhere. And this thing is easy enough to modify to suit whatever performance needs you're looking to satisfy. I'm not necessarily talking about the Coyote motors and the LS bills, but maybe an exhaust or suspension upgrades, maybe new brake lines or grab your clutch material, whatever. It's fine from factory. But you want to imprint something of yourself on it. Because how is a Miata going to be best Miata unless it's your Miata? No big deal. It's just evolution. Similar to how the NA Miata seemed like a departure from the 1980s and a headlong dive into the 1990s. The NB looks to leave the 90s behind in favor of the turbocharged 2000s with stuff like the Mazda Speed MX-5 in 2004 and 2005. RCR still has yet to get our hands on a Mazda Speed Miata. There's some out west, I think there's one in PNW, but they're a little tough to find in the tri-state area here. Sporty roadsters invite judgmental attitudes from the type of person who jokes about something you told him in confidence and then turns it on you for you getting upset about it. But judgment comes from the sense that the car, and by extension its driver, thinks it's superior.
Oh, this guy thinks he's better than me? I'm gonna put this clown on eternity leave.
But a Miata doesn't want to be revered. It wants you to recognize that whatever happiness it builds in you is something that was already in there.
Better engine. There it is. That's the Torsen.
The Miata is the automotive equivalent of a good friend who understands that you're not looking for someone to agree, but just to listen. Because an ear and a shoulder can be two of the most powerful tools in a friendship. You could argue that a Miata draws attention to itself more than a Corvette of the same era would. But the difference is that not enough average Joes actually know what a Miata is all about, other than it's small.
Mazda MX-5 Miata NB. On the track, call me Kidney Stone because I'm hard to pass.
I remember in the 90s, Miatas felt like more of an exclusive experience than they do now. Because if you wanted to know anything about what driving a Miata was like in the 90s, you didn't have all sorts of videos on the internet or videos on the internet, period, to give you some impression of the experience. I mean, hell, modern Top Gear didn't even start until 2002, so you had to wait for whatever the Top Gear equivalent was to come on television, Motor Week, really, and hope that would satisfy you. Either that or play Gran Turismo 1, and you're sitting there holding a non-dual shock, non-analog PS1 controller, wondering why the game is calling a Miata a Eunice Roadster. Why would they make up a name that doesn't exist? So we remember those early internet or pre-internet eras more vividly because the experiences we had felt more exclusive. The future is already a pill you have to wrap in cheese first, so why not spend a little more time waxing nostalgic about the heyday of the Fairground Square Mall? How does it drive? It drives like every other Miata that's kept in good enough condition to pass inspection. For the uninitiated, an MX-5 on a sunny day is like a small hit of ganja and a song from high school. Mundane errands become exciting and funny. The lack of roof and sound deadening and, really short travel suspension cranks up your dopamine and sensory responses. And now, this is your new thing. You're a Miata guy, ready to spread the gospel.
It's fun. I love filming. I like that. That's my favorite part. I don't need to drive. I like driving, but it's like I'd much rather be the one like, all right, I'm making sure the camera go. Notice me, senpai. Notice me. Every time at the hardest. Damn my meds. Woo!
Get it, Brian.
He's trying to outrun you. Is he? Yeah, probably.
A Mazda, an MX5 from 1999. It lasts about 05, and then B to make the claim. We've done them all before, and now we can move on singing Mazda, 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 one last Miata to go. Mazda, 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 then we've done them all for show.